Thank you very much. And everyone, I also would like to extend my special thanks to Mr. Harsh O'Brien.
Thank you.
As you know, he is senior executive of the India IT Forum and also president of Kitatech Kapshiki Kaisha. Plus, he is a good friend of mine for the past 10 years. And he is my mentor for me on all things about India. And he has kindly invited me to have a presentation for the delegation of the Electronics and Computer Software Export Promotion Council. It's called ESC for short. I hope that all the delegation members of ESC enjoyed the trip to Japan, and also that you have very useful information about the Japanese market. And also I can see some members of India IT Forum, as well as my friends here. Okay, everyone, I'm really pleased to see you. And in order to make full use of the allotted time, I'm gonna start, hold on a second. I have to turn it on. Slideshow. Slideshow. Okay. From now, I'm going to start Shintaro's cross-culture showtime. Please look at the first slide. This is a dialogue between a Japanese boy and a Japanese girl. I read it. The boy said, "How many months have we known each other?" The girl answered, "You remember the Christmas party last year?" The boy said, "Yeah, that's right. It's half a year ago." The girl continued, "Time passes so quickly, doesn't it?" Boy said, "Well, what to say? It is always on my mind." The girl said, "Me too." Is there anyone who understands what the message is in this dialogue? Do you understand what they talked actually? Would you please?
It's time to split.
Oh, okay. I got it. Another opinion? Anyone?
Slow decision. Slow decision.
Oh, slow decision, okay? Japanese, don't answer, please. I know you know the answer.
Japanese like to date
Japanese like to wait, okay.
before involving into something.
I see, okay. Any other opinion?
Yukkuri.
Yukkuri, okay. All right, okay, I don't have enough time, so let me tell you the point here. They confess their love each other.
After 6 months.
Aha! From this conversation, Japanese understand it. Japanese want to express something very important indirectly. This is very typical conversation between Japanese. We have this habit in our conversation, and this habit is often applied to business situation. That is what drives many non-Japanese business people crazy. This is Japanese communication style. Indirect and emotionally rich expressions containing graphic images. This is Japanese conversation style. A Japanese language contains a lot of graphic images. We communicate each other in graphic images, not in language. Japanese language has full information or full messages between the lines. And this indirect expression also, as I said, applied to business situation. And many non-Japanese business people who come to Japan are annoyed, in fact annoyed with this dialogue habit of Japanese people. When I was in Singapore, by the way, I lived in Singapore for more than 8 years, where I met many Indian business people. I confess to you, the Indian business people are the toughest negotiators in my experience. And they taught me debate. Anyway, when I was in Singapore, one of local friends asked me a question. Shintaro, Japanese business people like to play golf a lot. Is there any particular reason why they like to play golf? My answer was, oh, it's because Japanese like to beat around the bush. This is how Japanese like to use indirect expression. But anyway, it's a joke, but please understand, Japanese like to have indirect expression. It has, very rich context between the lines. It's called high context. Japanese are the highest context people in the world. The low context means that you depend on language. High context people depend on, mood, aura, atmosphere, messages hidden in between the lines. And what's more, we like to have non-verbal communication. Japanese people read atmosphere or aura, mood, etc. And that is associated with non-verbal communication. And we utilize tacit knowledge unconsciously. We think many important things are tacit knowledge, which means, if you know how to ride a bicycle, that knowledge is with your body. And no matter how you learn how to ride a bicycle, it is difficult unless you practice it. And your body learns how to ride on a bicycle. That's called tacit knowledge. And Japanese think that many important things are part of tacit knowledge. And many Japanese people believe that they're hard to explain their language. In other words, Japanese people don't trust much language, unfortunately. We appreciate feeling, emotion, more than language. And you-oriented attitude, you come first. What you want to have, what you want to request, what you want to do. We want to know what you have in mind first, then we try to tune our wavelengths to your thought, and we try to accommodate what you want. But if we can't accommodate, or if we can't accept your idea, sometimes we keep quiet. But anyway, let me go on. And read an atmosphere or mood is called kuuki. Then it's kuuki. In Japanese, it is called kuuki. Then what is kuuki? This is utilized in non-verbal communication. Literally, it means air, atmosphere, aura, mood, and the like, existing in a certain group. In a meeting, if there are 6 persons, Japanese enter the room, and if all people sit in the seat and they are still there is searching kuuki. Japanese try to read kuuki, air, emanating from each participant's body. It's kind of oral. And this kuuki influence perceptions, understandings, how to say, what to say, etc. Japanese try to form their ideas in accordance with the request existing in the particular kuuki, in a particular group. And Japanese are unconsciously controlled by the power of kuuki. We got to feel, sense, and read kuuki. We cannot grasp it, we cannot hold it, we cannot touch it because it's air. So we must feel it. And the key person in a particular group dominate kuuki. In other words, if there is a boss, one person, okay, among all the other 7 people, then this boss dominates kuuki. The other members want to know what kind of kuuki is being emanated from the body of the boss. Then the rest of the people want to tune their wavelength to the wavelengths of the boss, which is called we read kuuki. And naturally, discussion in a group is governed by kuuki. This is what we call non-verbal communication. If we don't know what the boss wants, even from reading kuuki, we are very quiet. Very quiet. We don't speak out our opinion. Specific Japanese cultural trait which influence communication among Japanese. Please understand, this will happen if you meet. Maybe some Indian, people already experience this phenomenon. When you discuss business with Japanese people. If Japanese are controlled by kuuki, why not you create amicable kuuki? Kuuki is an important catalyst to expedite discussions. It is the easiest method is to smile. If we see a person with a gloomy face, we never want to talk. If you have smiles on the face, we feel comfortable to talk with you. So when you meet with Japanese people, please have your beautiful smile. And kuuki can be generated by the most influential person in a meeting. You are from the foreign country. You are regarded as very important guest in Japan. Then Japanese try to read what kind of kuuki is being generated by you. So if you smile, then we feel relaxed. And we may feel comfortable to talk about, or discuss the business agenda with you. And this is because amicable kuuki soften a tense situation. Japanese find it easy to speak out opinion in such an amicable kuuki. This is very important. And there are also tips. Please talk calmly, not fast. I understand, Indian people talk very fast. Maybe you don't think you are talking fast. But to Japanese, it sounds very fast. So if possible, please bear in mind that you are talking fast to Japanese people, so please slow down the speed of your speech, and we feel comfortable. Japanese yes normally means many things. And please take it. When the Japanese says yes, please take it. Aha. Japanese saying, aha. I'm hearing you. It doesn't mean I agree with you. Okay? So many, not only your people, but particularly American business people don't like Japanese yes. They take it as agreement. But it's wrong. Japanese are saying, but we want to say yes. This is the direct translation of hi to English. I don't know who translated hi to yes. maybe 130 or 140 years ago, maybe some Japanese thought that hi could be yes. It's wrong. Hi should have been translated into English. Aha. As I said to you, maybe I didn't say that to you. Japanese hate debate. Whereas Indian people, you are the master of debate. I really admire you. They taught me debate. At first, I was uneasy. I didn't like it. But through, through debating with Indian people, I realized that I became friends with them. And later on, I got used to it. But that became a problem when I returned to Japan. I really upset so many Japanese people when I first returned to Japan from overseas country. Straightforward communication style could frighten Japanese. Yes or no style talking, Japanese feel uncomfortable. We don't want to say clearly black or white, yes or no, in business discussion. So if you request Japanese, I want to know your answer now. Do you agree with me or not? This conversational style is often seen in among Chinese people. Chinese people want to confirm, are you listening to me or not? Are you understanding me or not? Do you agree with me or not? They like this style of conversation. So if they then Japanese people feel a little bit awkward and uncomfortable, then negotiation process, this discussion process may be not going on smoothly. Japanese feel uneasy to say something negative clearly. We don't want to hurt you. So we don't want to say something negative clearly. That becomes another problem for many non-Japanese business people. Particularly, again, American business people. I provide American business people with training on how to do business with Japanese business people. And they really don't like that Japanese never say no clearly to them. So they wait and wait and wait, and no answer comes. And maybe half a year later, they understand that they actually didn't like their proposal. So some American people talk to me. I don't understand why they said never. Why I don't understand why they said no to me. They didn't say no to me. Oh, it's because of Japanese culture, I said. Japanese don't want to say something negative clearly in language to you. Then how can I know if their answer is no? Well, you establish an amicable relationship with Japanese people, then you will know whether they like your idea or not. Maybe afterward, in a drinking session. That's what I said. But I'm going to explain about it later. Non-verbal communication weighs very heavy. This is unconsciously carried out by Japanese. And we observe and figure out an atmosphere, it's called kuuki, in which important messages are hidden. And I advise you to try to join after work sessions. Business discussion, business negotiation start only from, only from 5 o'clock. In the daytime, you talk about some agenda. Japanese are listening, Serious discussion starts from 5 o'clock. If you are offered a dinner session, don't decline it. That's when you talk something serious. And that's when you know bottom line information from Japanese people. If you cannot drink alcohol, don't do. You don't have to drink it. But attending it is important. And I know many Indian people don't like drinking alcohol. So because of that, many Indian business people decline dinner invitation by Japanese. Don't do that. Even though you don't drink alcohol, go there. Enjoy getting together with Japanese. Then slowly, you get to know what they want. Okay? Japanese English. Some Japanese, not all, okay? The Japanese, my friend Japanese here, they have fantastic pronunciation. But majority Japanese, okay? So, find it difficult to pronounce L, R, S, TH, F, and D. Letter is often pronounced as reta. CC lemon, this is one of the sport drinks. This drink has a lot of vitamin C. It's called, the brand name is CC lemon. But Japanese say shishi lemon. Oh, by the way, okay. Hamamatsu in Shizuoka-ken is very famous for Honda Motors. Honda started from Hamamatsu. One day, American business people got on a bus tour, and the Japanese bus conductor said this way: Honda started from this town called Hamamatsu. So Hamamatsu is often called Honda City. Then American people laughed. But the tour conductor didn't understand why they laughed. This is a tragedy. And we don't have think tank. We have think tank. Very is pronounced sometimes berry or belly. Okay? L and R, mixed up. 5 is 5. End with vowel. 5. Yeah? This is how we find this very difficult. So please understand, all right? Japanese have difficulty in pronouncing these particular words. Then you can figure out what kind of things Japanese are trying to say. Also, this is the most difficult problem for Japanese. We don't know how to use a and the in front of nouns. This is, culturally, I don't know, but Japanese nouns don't need these articles. And Japanese noun never becomes plural. We use the singular form to mean something singular or something plural. You must understand whether Japanese is saying something singular or something plural from the context. But you know how to utilize a and the. So when Japanese never use a and the, please understand that we have difficulty to utilize the articles. Also, the perfect tense. Many Japanese don't know how to utilize it properly. So you might have realized already Japanese use past tense sentences more often. And when Japanese use the perfect tense, maybe use it wrongly. But please understand, if they are using past tenses so many times, past tense sentences so many times, maybe some of which should have been expressed by the perfect tense. They are the typical, features of Japanese English. Oh, by the way, Japanese find your English, R is strongly pronounced. Yeah, when I was in Singapore, Mr. Tominaga, I understand you very much. This way I practice it. And when I start to talk, English like Indian people talk, I cannot stop it. So now I'm speaking Japanese English. As I said in the beginning, Japanese has a guest entertaining habit for visitors. So you are the center in the meeting. Japanese want to know what you want, what you want to request. So they try to listen to you, tune their words next to you. You are creating kuuki. We entertain you so well. And Japanese, okay, if there are 3 persons or 4 persons present in a business meeting, all 3 or 4, all of them have similar wavelengths. They don't have individual opinions. They have group opinions. Whereas you have individual opinions. In Japan, we are not allowed, culturally, not allowed to have individual opinion. This is not rule, well, not a regulation, but culturally demanded. That is why when you have discussion with Japanese people in a meeting, perhaps you witness a couple of times that Japanese person looking at each other this way before he talks. He wants to make sure that what he's going to speak, is conforms to a consensus among themselves. They always want to confirm. They cannot, because they cannot speak out his own opinion. If Japanese, you understand, if you feel that Japanese are uncomfortable in talking, you can suggest to Japanese people, why don't you discuss among yourselves? You can go to next room and discuss among yourselves, and when you reach consensus, come back here. And then the Japanese feel very comfortable. But you have your own opinion. Accounting people, sales people, manufacturing people, quality management people, they all have their own opinions. In Japan, even though divisions are different, when they come to the meeting, they have one opinion, according to the consensus which they reached before the meeting with you. And Japanese, this cultural habit. Japanese take care of company people better than friends, or better than family members. Company-oriented people, they are Japanese. And we have very heavy pressure to learn English in Japan. Many people are arguing, Japanese are the poorest English speaker in the world. And we got learn English so hard, but we can't learn English so well. We can't speak English so well. So we are pressurized. And then this has led to a kind of inferiority complex. We share homogeneous culture in the domain of subconsciousness. We live in homogeneous culture. And from Hokkaido to Okinawa, you see the same kind of Japanese people who behave and also respond in the same way as other Japanese people. But they are not ganged up. it is done because of Japanese particular culture. 99% of the people in Japan are only Japanese. And we don't have multicultures existing in Japan. So we share the similar culture in which we take everything granted for understanding each other through reading kuuki. The way we read kuuki also is based on our Japanese indigenous homogeneous culture. We want to seek harmony always. That is why we don't like debate. Debate exists in the form of conflict. Yes or no, yes or no, yeah? This is conflict. The Japanese don't like to conflict with any people. That is why they don't like debate, and we always want to seek harmony. We want to do business in harmony with you. So, if we think that, oh, this person is very persistent and very, they like to argue a lot, and we start to recoil slowly, and we don't show it on our face, then you don't understand what's going on here. The cooperation rather than conflict, confrontation. This is what we unconsciously seek. One good tip, of course I talk about it later. Please don't try to change Japanese culture. Not only Japanese culture, but any other culture in the world. You lose. Because culture is not a human being. It's air. You cannot fight air. Okay? Generic Japanese communication style. We are tense when meeting a new person, even Japanese person. We are very tense and nervous to meet a new person. Moreover, you are from a foreign country. We become more tense than meeting a new Japanese person. Please understand it. That is why an amicable approach is necessary, is important. When you are in the meeting with Japanese people, topics irrelevant to the main point are very important before you get to the point. You can talk about whether this is very safe, topic. Or today, it's a little cold, isn't it? For spring, it should be warm these days. This kind of topic is really, this kind of topic can work quite well to Japanese people. And some other topics, or if you come to Japan in spring, if you see many cherry flowers blooming, you talk about cherry flowers. Or many other things, Topics not relevant to the main point. Please talk such points maybe for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. This is what we call warming up session. Before you get to, if you get to the point from the very beginning, Japanese don't know what to do. Because we want to do business with people with whom we feel comfortable. And Japanese tend to use indirect expressions. And I tell you what, as I said already, interpreters, Japanese interpreters between English and Japanese, they find it very difficult to translate indirect expression into English. So if you hire interpreter, please understand that many interpreters find it difficult to translate indirect expression into English. Guesswork is possible if you have a good, amicable relationship with Japanese people. Guesswork is possible based on shared information through close relation. Japanese want to establish close relations with you so that they can share information together. The more they share the information, the more they want to talk about the bottom line information. It takes some time to become friends with Japanese business people. I talk about a little bit later. This is differences in group work and teamwork. Japanese consider to be master of teamwork, but in my opinion, no. Japanese are master of group work. Okay, they are the differences. In group work, leadership is subtle. We cannot be conspicuous in Japan because we want to work in harmony with other members of the group. So, even the leader cannot be conspicuous. Hey, come on, you guys, follow me. I'll lead you. No, this doesn't work in Japan. If you ever visited Japanese factory line, you don't know who is line leader. You don't know who is foreman. You don't know who is section head, because they wear the same uniform. We don't want to be different from other people, even leaders. They are melt in a certain group. That's group work, one of group work's features. We work in harmony with other members. And the leader's role, okay, is to level each member, each group's member's ability to the average level. Okay? If there is a very high ability person and a low ability person and medium ability person, always there are such differences existing in each group members. Then the leader's role is to level each member's ability to the even level. And if there is a very poor ability person, then leader asks other people to help him. And if there is a very, very capable person existing in this group, then the leader asks him, okay, help other people. He cannot run so fast, then he will be knocked down. We call it, okay, the stuck up nail gets hammered down. This happens in Japan. If you're too stuck up, you will be plucked out. And sayonara. It means you have to leave the company. And this is how it exists. And maybe in India, you can try all your best. And you can fully utilize your ability. But Japanese leader doesn't allow it to happen. We think the most capable person, when the most capable person is working so hard, he doesn't care about the other member, we think he is selfish. We got to think of the benefit of the other people in the group. It's like communism, isn't it? I have many Chinese friends. They're from Communist China. And some people, Chinese people told me this way. They are fresh from China. I was very amazed with Japanese society. This society is perfect communist country. Much better than China. We observe what other members do without clear instruction by the leader. Because we read kuuki. We know what the leader wants us to do, what the leader demands, and we try to, listen to his expectation. We try to achieve his expectation. And rules are unwritten because we read kuuki. Kuuki is not language. Whereas teamwork developed in Europe and US, there's strong leadership. Hey, I'm the leader. Follow me. You'll be alright. You'll be successful. You make a lot of money. Come on. Strong leadership exists in teamwork. And they work according to the description set for each member. You may be very surprised to find that Japanese work without job description. Many non-Japanese people find this very strange. How can Japanese people work without job description? Because we can read kuuki. We know what we are expected to do through reading kuuki. If you give job description to Japanese, for example, many Euro-American companies bring their own system to Japan, and they want to, push their job description to Japanese and follow the job description, then the work performance can drop. And in order to avoid it, many Euro-American Japanese companies, they take it, job description as it is, but in reality, they have their own Japanese cultural behaving code. I have witnessed this many times when I provide training to many Euro-American companies exist in Japan. I always ask them a question. Do you have a job description? Yes. Do you know what I've written? No. They don't read it. Each member performs one's ability to the fullest. And it's leader's role, right? The leader gives a clear purpose and goal to achieve to the members. And there are express rules. They are written. But here in Japan, we don't need something written. As I said to you, even Japanese people working for Euro-American company in Japan, they don't read their job description. They don't understand what kind of company rules existing. They are written, but Japanese people don't read it. There's code of conduct, very famous one, developed and made by American companies, but we don't need it because Japanese culture contains code of conduct. We follow Japanese culture, then we are free from, code of conduct problems. They are written for Euro-American companies, but we don't read it. We don't pay attention to it. So there are differences between group work and teamwork. Please understand, Japanese are master of group work, not master of teamwork. So if you come to Japan to learn teamwork, you cannot learn it. But you're going to learn group work. But maybe it's difficult for you. But please understand, there are differences like this. As I said to you, Japanese are company-oriented people. Company comes first, and self at the end. Yeah? And Japanese want to know your ESCs. We are interested in the history of the ESC and also the background. What kind of organization is it? Is it government backup or private institute, etc.? We are interested in big picture. And the size in terms of annual turnover, manpower, etc. are very important. If you cannot answer such question, many Japanese people think that, hey, are they really working for this organization? Because Japanese, working for Japanese company, they all know the size of Japanese company, history, number of employees, annual turnover, everything. Of course, information about his own department, where he belongs to. But particularly American business people, they are interested in making a deal with Japanese people. And some American business people don't know the size of their American company in the US. And they don't know the number of departments. Many people are not concerned about it because they are here to discuss business and they pinpoint, they focus on business agenda. Company history, I don't know where it was established. Many American people answer this way. Then we feel, hey, he doesn't know his company's history. We care, we pay attention to such big picture information. So please be prepared, for this kind of question. They will be thrown onto you. And please be prepared for yourself to be able to answer the big picture information. And this is how they decide where you stand in the company. They want to know where you stand in your organization. They want to know whether they are discussing with the right person in your company through knowing this kind of big picture information. Okay, phoning versus writing. I don't know if you like a telephone conference. Do you like it? Many people join teleconference. American people like this a lot. Okay? And important issue must be informed to Japanese in written first. And some American business people think the more it is important, they think the better calling the Japanese counterpart. And sometimes it is not followed by email. Because it is important, they want to have vocal input. But Japanese people always want to have information in writing. It's because English is not Japanese mother tongue. We are not confident in listening to your English, even American English too. We want, the more it is important, the better you send information in writing. And also Japanese are not used to conference call. When we cannot see people right in front of me, we feel uncomfortable to talk about our own opinion. I came across this case many times when I provided training to Euro-American companies, Japanese employees. I always provide some training on leadership, etc. They hate teleconference call. They ask me questions. It is not relevant to my training, but Mr. Tominaga, I don't know what to do when there is a conference call. Many American business, headquarter people, they complain that why Japanese are so quiet always. And why do I have to attend such a conference call, which is painful? It's because, as I said to you, English is not our mother tongue. It is a foreign language, and we are not good at using English. Plus, we talk to some people, we cannot see his face, we cannot see his aura, we cannot see his kuuki. We don't know what to say. So when you want to have conference call, only after you establish good relationship with Japanese people. If you all of a sudden call up the Japanese, hey, please stand by for conference call, and there are so many people, beyond the telephone line, Some from England, some from the US, some from India, some from China. Oh, by the way, many Indian companies have branches in Shanghai nowadays. And some Indian people can join the conference call from Shanghai. And a Japanese person in Tokyo. Japanese are dead quiet. You express what you might have expressed it already, or you're gonna express it very, very soon. Many non-Japanese people like to hear vocal input, as I said, from their Japanese counterpart, which Japanese are not confident in speaking English, because Japanese are not confident in speaking English. Remember, English is foreign language for Japanese, whereas it is one of your official languages for Indian. How many official languages do you have, by the way?
Three.
Three? Three. Hindi?
25.
16 English and local.
Local, okay. Oh, okay, I understand. Three. So there should be more, right?
There are more. Local Hindi and English.
I see.
In any place.
Okay, thank you very much for input. But for Japanese, English is a foreign language. Our official language is only one, Japanese. Presentation. Japanese are unfamiliar with a theatrical presentation developed in the US. I put theatrical. We think, what is this? What the heck America is doing? We feel very uncomfortable with American style presentation. This is also presentation, but I went through training in the US for 3 months to receiving sales management training, and I had to do presentation, and I learned it. In the very beginning, it was very painful, but at the end of the training, I really liked it. Then, after I came back to Japan, I wanted to have presentation like American business person to Japanese, and I didn't know that Japanese were uncomfortable, but they reluctantly accepted it, and they attended my presentation, but the result was miserable. Japanese never say no, clearly. They were just painful. They didn't listen to what I said at all. Many Japanese prefer a face-to-face presentation in a relaxed atmosphere. We like it. Face-to-face means, this distance is important. Presentation, this is too distant. It's not friendly, isn't it? Yeah? We like this physical distance, not too close, not too far. Then we feel relaxed. Okay, thank you. Okay. So that is why Japanese like to have discussion with any people, even Japanese people. Okay? Like in this distance, we talk about something, face to face. You can do presentation, but don't think it can impress Japanese people. It's just a ritual. Take it ritual. You cannot talk anything important in presentation. Yeah? More important thing is to have face-to-face discussion with Japanese people right after presentation. If possible, join after work session. While Japanese are enjoying drinking. Then you have fantastic presentation. And if you want to do presentation, please make sure that they want to have a presentation, an American style presentation, theatrical presentation. Make sure if they want to do it or not. If you feel, he might not like it, then forget it. Go there, go and see Japanese people, and have a face-to-face meeting. That works much better. Plus, after work session, join them, enjoy it. PowerPoint presentation. Yeah, many foreign business people prepare very beautiful PowerPoint slide. Very beautiful. And that doesn't work here in Japan. Please understand. If Japanese want to have a presentation, it is because he has experience in doing business in the US or in Europe or some other country. I liked presentation. And I upset many Japanese people. So I also want to talk about this tip to you. Okay, this could be very important. Decision-making process. The person in charge is in the bottom layer of an organization. And requisite for approval of doing some projects with a foreign business counterpart. The lowest person brings it up to his boss, and his boss brings it up to his boss, and to the level where this size of the business can be done, or some budget-wise. If it is a huge project, it goes right up to the board of directors. Executives meeting. Okay? It's called ringisho. Ringisho is requisition for approval. It's issued by a person in the bottom layer of the company. And it is issued only when he thinks he will receive all approval from concerned people above him. So he never issue a ringisho if he doesn't think he will receive approval from concerned people above him. And in order to do so, he needs to establish a consensus process from bottom to top. This is very important and necessary. And cross relations are nemawashi. It's called nemawashi. Nemawashi is a Japanese word, consensus gaining process. Needs a lot of time. Lot of time. My direct boss must understand the nature of the project which want to be proposed by his direct report. And if I'm the direct report, I have to explain the nature of the feature of the project to my boss many times until he is satisfied with my explanation. Of course, I have to answer his many questions. Then, sometimes I have to go through drinking session with him at his cost, my boss cost. If my boss think, oh, this is important, okay, Shintaro, you have time today? Even though I have a data appointment, I decline it. Yes, sir. Because it's a good sign. Oh, this project may be approved by my boss. So I go there. And I call my girlfriend saying, I'm sorry, I'm invited to going for a drink session with my boss. And my girlfriend understands it. It's Japanese corporate culture. Then his boss has to also discuss with his boss and his boss. That is why it takes a long time. And many non-Japanese people don't understand this process. Never know. Even never know it. So they are so much irritated, particularly American business people. When I was in the US and provided training to American business people who are engaged with Japanese business wife. And when I explain this one, what's going to happen if the deal is stayed? I mean, already out of time, and we lose a chance. Oh, you're unlucky. Unlucky? That's all? Yeah, unlucky. Yes, it's unlucky. But if you know that Japanese takes a lot of time in making decision, okay? Then you know how long you can wait, and you know how to explain to your boss, your upper level people. And if the size of the business, your proposal or your project is large, Japanese people always issue a ringisho. If you establish, what's that? Okay. It's show time. So if that is why you need to establish good relationship with Japanese. If you can become friends with Japanese people, then you can ask a question to the person in charge in Japan. Hey, did you issue a ringisho? Okay. If he said, yes, I issued it, what you have to do is just wait and tell your upper level people, it's going to come soon. Gotta be patient. Don't approach a company when a ringisho is issued. Ringisho, as I said to you, is issued only when he is sure all concerned people put seals on it, which means agree. We agree, accept. So please establish very good relationship with Japanese business people. Nomination. Nomi means to drink. Nication comes from communication. This is Japanese and English mixed up. Nomination, we call it nomination. We communicate while we drink each other. Understand this word, nomination. Direct report and boss will be nomination will be a lubricant to expedite decision.
If necessary, you join. If drinking session. Well, maybe sometimes if you establish a good relationship, maybe you are invited for drinking session. Hey, what did you Oberai-san, please come. Would you like to join our drinking session? Oh, well, okay. I cannot drink alcohol. Oh, never mind. Just be with us. Then Oberai-san can know bottom line information in the drinking session, in nomination. That is why it takes Japanese a lot of time to have a decision. The key point here is to have good relations with Japanese. In order to establish good relations, it takes time, but please generate an amicable kuuki, and also, if possible, join after work session. Okay. Important tips. This is not last but least. Okay, important tips. Please understand, any culture is neither superior nor inferior. Every culture is unique. Your culture is unique, but not superior, not inferior to other culture. Don't compare and grade differences on business practices between India and Japan. This is going to cause many tragedies. This always happens. Don't think This never happens in India. No one says or behaves like that in India and the like. This kind of notion can drive you crazy. Every time when you see Japanese business people, this never happens in India. We never say like that in India. Then this kind of thinking can impede business process, your business. Don't quickly expect a yes or no reply from Japanese. As I said, it takes some time. And also we don't like yes or no, clear, black and white type of conversation. Be prepared for many rounds of meetings, including communication. Enjoy communication. Do you know karaoke? Yeah, if you are a bad singer, you will be loved by Japanese. Don't be good singers. Yeah? We don't like theatrical people. We don't like movie stars. If you're a bad singer, you think that your business chance is greater. And John, don't be embarrassed. Sing loudly. We are so happy. We think you are our friends, our people. And join in karaoke or golf. Some Japanese business people go to play golf in the daytime. Afterward, they go for drinking session, eating together, then go to karaoke. 3 sets in a day. And Japanese wife admit that they do it. So, Japanese wives are used to this kind of Japanese behavior. After husband retire from the company, then husband stay at his home, then Japanese wives think, oh, why don't you go out? Because Japanese wife understand, they already knew, the freedom being at home alone. She has established her good friends outside, okay? And he doesn't need her husband, she doesn't need her husband. What she needs, only money. And Japanese wife control the finance. More than 90% of Japanese wives control the domestic finance. The salaries are wired to their bank accounts, and the bank accounts are controlled by wives. So she's financial minister at home. Oh, poor husband, they work hard for their wives. And that's all for Shintaro's Cross Culture Showtime. Thank you. I'm sure many people will have many questions. So.